Hey everyone, I hope you guys are enjoying the third free title update on Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, as we're just 5 weeks away from the release of Monster Hunter Rise on PlayStation and Xbox consoles. And today we're going to be going over the fact that we have a brand new layered armor piece making its way as a brand new reward for event quests. Remember that every single week we get event quests, and we have been pretty much getting now, this is the 16th event quest since the release of Sunbreak and the second event quest for the third free title update. If you still don't necessarily know how to get your hands on event quests or free downloadable items, make your way down to the Steelworks or in Elgato, speak to the courier cat, go all the way down to the add-ons options and claim anything that's labeled in white, whether it is event quests, free downloadable item packs, or anything along those lines. This brand new event quest is a dual threat event quest called Destructive Stars. This one is going to be putting you up against a Crimson Glow Valstrax and a Furious Rajang in the arena. And if you were wondering, yes indeed, this is one of those event quests that was teased by the developers as a developer quest challenge, so we should be able to get those details from the developers themselves relatively soon. But for now, the quest is currently live in the game, so pretty much anyone who owns Sunbreak already on the Nintendo Switch or on PC or Steam should be able to get their hands on it. Now, since this is a dual threat event quest, that means you're going to have both monsters active at some point or another. Most likely, you're going to have Crimson Glow Valstrax roaming about the arena at first, and somewhere around 50% health or so, Furious Rajang is going to enter the arena. So you do have a chance to mount eventually Crimson Glow and Furious Rajang and kind of like make them fight each other, so you can kind of whittle their health down a little bit. The interesting thing is, though, however, usually dual threat quests end up having higher damage parameters, higher resistances, and higher health. And realistically speaking, I don't necessarily see that this time around. Crimson Glow Valstrax seems to go relatively down really fast. His health is not necessarily all that dangerous, and Furious Rajang goes down even faster than Crimson Glow Valstrax. I'm not necessarily sure if there are some real parameter, like when it comes to resistances, weaknesses for their health, or something along those lines. Something is not necessarily right, but usually every other dual threat has been a little bit more challenging, and this one just simply didn't necessarily live up to all the hype. Crimson Glow, of course, has the potential to be one of the most menacing monsters, but as of right now, it doesn't necessarily seem to be for this specific event quest. So, you know, they usually hit about as hard as they typically would. I will say this, every single time that I did this quest, and I ended up doing it 3 times, 2 people ended up carding. So perhaps maybe it's just my own bias as I'm a gunner. A lot of people in the comments, usually when I talk about the lack of difficulty, they always love to point out that I'm a gunner, therefore I am standing back, therefore I'm not getting hit, which is not necessarily true. When some monster turns on you, it's up to you to avoid it and making sure that you don't necessarily get walloped by it. So I'm more focused on avoidance than actually getting hit and seeing my health get shredded all the way down to 10%. So, you know, that is my own personal perspective on that. But regardless, I did see Crimson Glow pretty much just wallop every single time that I did this quest, 1 or 2 people. So there were plenty of cards to go about. I just don't necessarily think for me personally it was all that difficult, mostly because I focus more on avoidance and just making sure that I don't get hit. And as far as Furious Rajang goes, you know, it is extremely annoying, but we do know that, of course, the anomaly investigation version of this guy, it is probably just one of the most annoying monsters in the game right now. So the normal version of Furious Rajang is fine. You know, it is a little bit annoying, but the anomaly investigation version is just going to take the cake because it hits way harder, has more resistances. The fight is going to drag on a little bit longer, and more importantly, it hits like a damn truck. So, you know, this one, a little bit disappointing, but of course, that is what we have to deal with. Now, as you finish the event quest, one of the things you need to be able to keep your eyes peeled for is the quest bonus rewards page. There you're going to find a rarity 10 piece of paper or scroll, if you will, called Black Winged Ears Ticket, that says that it's proof of felling foes crimson and gold used to forge layer armor resembling a bird wyvern. So essentially, you're going to collect, chances are, just 1 per quest. Every single quest that I did, I only ever got 1. I didn't necessarily get more than that. But the good thing is that, of course, you're only ever going to need 1. You're not going to necessarily need a bunch of them, since the actual piece of armor you're going to be crafting is only ever going to require 1. So once you finish the quest, make your way down to the smithy, forge upgrade armor option, and all the way in the bottom you have the forge layered armor option. On top of that, you're going to scroll all the way to the right to the special tab, and all the way at the bottom you're going to notice the black winged ears ticket for the black winged earrings. This one, of course, really interesting looking armor. I'm not necessarily sure which monster they are referencing, but I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments. You will be required some Crimson Glow Valstrax materials, if you will, but of course, because you're already doing that quest, you're going to be able to pick those up relatively easy, especially if you try to do the quest more than a couple of times. Once you craft it, you should be automatically done there. So of course, this is just a layered version option of this armor. There is no actual like stats based version of this armor set or armor piece for your head, so you know, it is what it is. But with that said, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not necessarily a big fan of it. You know, it is what it is. I'm not a big fan of it, and that's just the way it is. You know, not necessarily all the armor rewards that we get, or even layer rewards that we get, are gonna be for everyone. This one is most likely one of those that is just, now I have it, I crafted it, and it will just remain in the bank going forward. I'm not necessarily going to spend too much time trying to come up with some sort of a fashion statement version of this brand new armor reward. But that's pretty much it. That is the reward that we get for this week. We do know that there are multiple event quests for this specific third free title update. I'm already putting 2 videos specifically together regarding some of the, let's say, leaks and data mines for the third free title update. The first one I'm going to be talking about is every single event quest that we have pending specifically for this title update. We have already gone over through 2 of those multiple event quests, so I'm going to be talking about that at length. All the rewards, all the brand new armors, all those kind of things. I also have another video in the works where I'm going to be talking about every single armor that is going to be part of the third free title update rewards. There's plenty of amazing armor sets that are coming up that we are going to be getting, some of which are going to have stats, some of which are going to have just like layered options. So definitely look forward to that video. And the last video, of course, I'm going to be talking about pretty much 4th and 5th title update monsters. There's plenty of details now, plenty of news to go over regarding that. A lot of people have been asking me, when am I going to make my data mines upcoming leaked video and stuff like that. So believe me, I've been putting it together. I just don't want Capcom to crack down on me because there's just a lot of details now. We pretty much have all the information regarding the game now. Unless there's some brand new surprises or something that we didn't necessarily expect in maybe an upcoming patch or something like that that changes things around, we pretty basically know the next 2 free title updates to a T. So there's not that many secrets. Once we go over all of that, we're pretty much just gonna have to be waiting until those things eventually drop. But that's about all the details that I have for you guys today. If you are brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.